This chapter is about the material master. Material master. We have already discussed the importance of master data, and we have already discussed the customer master. So in material master, we are going to focus first on two different things. Number one is the significance of material master. And number two, we're going to focus on the important fields and their business significance. And then, of course, as usual, I'm going to conclude it and then do a quiz. So if you want to understand the significance of the material master, we should first understand the life cycle of a material master or the life cycle of a material. And then we are going to understand the interaction of the different departments in any company. So we'll be focusing on this first, the life cycle. The life cycle of a material goes something like this. A material is created, and a material is used in transactions. A material is changed. And of course, a material can be discontinued or archived. So a material is created and it's used in transactions, and through the course of its life cycle, it can be changed. And finally, the material can be discontinued or archived. So let's take an example. Say Apple. Apple makes new version of iPhone. So a material is created in the system. Why is this material created? Because it has to be referred and used again and again. During orders, during order confirmations, purchase orders, sales orders. We'll see some examples. So in this guy, Apple is the manufacturer. Or let's take another example. Let's take Best Buy. Best Buy also sells iPhones. So they sell an iPhone, the same version of the iPhone. So Best Buy also needs to create iPhone as a material in its SAP system. In this case, Best Buy is acting as a distributor. Now you might be wondering, do materials need to be created only in the case of manufacturing or distribution, or when there is a physical, tangible goods? Not necessarily. Let's take another example. Say ABC Spa. They have come up with a new therapy and they have to create it as a material in the system. You see, in this case, it's not really a physical material. It's just a service. So it need not always be a physical material. It need not always be a manufacturer or distributor of physical materials. It could be services. In all these cases, materials need to be created. Now let's understand the changes that can happen to a material. For example, Apple manufactures iPhone in, let's say, San Francisco. It does not. It manufactures it in China, but let's assume it manufactures in San Francisco. Now, all of a sudden, let's say they have changed their plant and they have started manufacturing in Los Angeles. What does this mean? That this material will be changed maybe from a certain point in time, 6 months from now, and the field that's getting changed for that material is what is called as a delivering plant. Don't worry, we'll see this field in the system. Another case, let's say this distributor Best Buy sells iPhones, and iPhones are categorized in their product structure or sales structure as phones. So all the revenue for iPhone sales come under the bucket of phone sales. But since iPhones became very popular, Apple's products, they want to categorize them under a different bucket. So all phones come under the category of phones, but an iPhone comes under the category of an iPhone or Apple. What does this mean now? So this is a change in the classification of the material. So probably something like a material group. Again, we're going to see all these fields. The point I'm trying to make is changes happen to materials all the time. Just like the way a customer's address can be changed, the properties of a material can be changed at any time. And then I said, you can use these materials in transactions. What kind of transactions? Let's say there's an order for an iPhone. So Apple creates an order. So order, line number 10, iPhone, some quantity. And then delivers that order using a delivery, another transaction. Again, the same material is used. Now Apple invoices this order. Same material is used. So these are examples of sales transactions. Orders, deliveries, invoices, goods issues, and so on. Now let's take the case of Best Buy. So Best Buy places an order with Apple. In this case, it's purchasing, not sales. Right? So there's Apple and there's Best Buy. So the PO is placed from Best Buy to Apple for the same product, 10 iPhone. Apple creates a sales order, like in our case. And the sales order is delivered and billed. So this purchase order that Best Buy has created will be completed with what's called as a goods receipt. So that take the goods that come in from Apple, put them in their warehouse, and of course it's billed, so they do an invoice receipt, after which of course they'll be paid. So these are examples of purchasing transactions. Now what about the case of a spa? It's even simpler. There is a sales order, and of course there's no delivery because there's no need for a delivery. It's not physical goods. The order is invoiced after the service has been done. Now here is our customer. The customer will receive the invoice